Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We were just talking about how a Deadly Premonition comic would be really cool.
Did you find Melvin?
Nope. I can't find either of them.
Either of them?
Yeah. When I went home, it wasn't just my daddy who was missing. Mama was gone, too. This never happened before.
It was the guy in the reflection.
Yeah, I saw that.
He just really stood out, didn't he?
Zach, we need to stop Professor R's plan no matter what it takes. Relax, Patty. You don't need to worry about a thing. I'm sure that Melvin just stumbled across an important clue that's stolen his attention for now. And I'm sure he's protecting your mother while he's at it.
In what vehicle, though? Because his little salon thing was outside.
For the HQ anyway. How about staying with me in my room until we find them?
But...
You don't need to worry. I can't make you any homemade food, but I've got a first-class chef and a first-class concierge at my disposal. Oh, and a very affable bellboy. It's a lot of fun at that hotel.
But... Okay, I guess. Thanks, Agent York.
You're a lady, so you take the bed. Zach and I will be fine on the couch.
Yes, get the hotel room with the strange man from the FBI who speaks to himself.
You mean to his friend?
Review the case in the hotel room. Okay, so we're getting one of our update things. I like that. Oh, no. But you know what that means. The
loading screens.
So, yeah, you're right. He had his little van kiosk thing out front. I should have hit that up and see if he appeared. That would have been really funny if he actually showed
Watch
up.
it be gone now.
Wait, if it's gone now, I'm going to be so confused. I'm going to really regret not checking it earlier if it's gone right now. Please still be there. Please let me ring the thing and he appears in the game. Just like they forgot to program it so he wouldn't show up at this point.
Turns out it was just Hoongan abducting the van.
Come on. I really want it to still be there. Oh.
So maybe he just parked it here and took a different car.
There it is.
Oh.
To look crawfish.
Oh, that's great.
Patty?
Yep. I fill in for my daddy when he ain't here. He says it's hard to support our family with only a sheriff's salary.
Yet the sheriff's salary is not good enough.
Especially with Mama being sick and all. So I gotta do my part to help out.
Wow, I can't even find the right word to describe it.
Underage.
Awesome, right?
Child labor.
Yes, that's it. You're awesome, Patty. Truly amazing.
I don't
Patty,
need to buy anything,
do you need to
though.
stay here and watch over the shop? I don't mind if that's what you want to do.
Don't worry about the shop. It'll be fine. I'm ready to continue the investigation whenever you are, Agent York.
What if another customer comes in?
Then we'll just say we closed due to an emergency. We don't even have any regular customers besides you, Agent York.
Is that so?
Folks can get to a huge outlet mall in 30 minutes if they take the highway. So we usually just go there once a week to stock up on everything. Honestly, we weren't making any money until you came along. Daddy said it's just
So they
good to
hiked
have
up the
a shop
price
for
so
the
that they
sake of
can get an
communicating with
actual
everyone.
profit.
I think you're right.
Zach, that sounds completely different from what Melvin told us. He said he started this shop simply for fun. Perhaps he's a much harder worker than we gave him credit for.
But not a very smart worker, evidently.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, I guess we'll just skateboard over to the hotel. I want to see if I have a new Zach dialogue.
Those bushes must hurt to skateboard through.
Oh, God, yeah. Come on, give me a conversation.
This town sure is peaceful, Zach. Yes, I know. I know what you're about to say.
But
that's
people
why
were
we're here,
murdered.
to protect this peace. Isn't that right, Zach?
Oh.
All right.
Oh, I thought there was more to it than that.
Sick wall.
Thanks, bro. You know, the comment section brought up a really good point about the whole Wally thing. So jumping on a skateboard is called an ollie. I know that. And that's all you're doing. Now, the word ollie, as far as I know, is not a licensed name of any kind of brand or whatever. So why did they have to change the name?
I think a Wally is actually a thing. Let me look it up. Because I remember seeing it in the Trick score when watching some highlight videos of a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 speedrun.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Here we go. Sleeping. Man, that was fast.
Wally. This trick is a cross between a pole jam and a wall ride. It's usually performed off a wall corner or ledge.
Oh, so it's just not what we're doing in the game.
Probably not.
I think they're just calling it the wrong thing then. All right.
We need to reorganize everything we've uncovered so far.
Ooh, a skateboard
So
glossary.
tired she fell right to sleep. Hey, Zach. I'm in a very difficult spot right now. I feel like this case is heading in a direction that will be extremely unpleasant for her. I've never felt anything like this during any of our cases thus far.
I'm a little surprised we haven't gone back to Zach yet. Okay, it's time. Let's do our link board. Evidence organization. I like this segment.
First, let's go back to the beginning. Lise Clarkson's body was found hanging under a bridge over the bayou.
Honestly, I needed that reminder. I feel I feel like this case has gotten very complicated, hasn't it?
In a deserted spot close to where the bayou meets the Mississippi. The one who fired the pistol at Heaven surely had no idea what he would find there. Speaking of which, Zach, Chuck, the man who started this race we're running, what's his occupation?
He's a crawfish farmer, right?
Yes.
Skateboard workshop.
Pro bowler.
Pro bowler. Please, he wishes. We are a proud semi-pro bowler, and he's not better than us.
Nuh-uh.
That's
In fact, we throw him into the
He's
pins.
a crawfish farmer.
Exactly. We shine up his head and roll him down the aisle. And we don't get a strike. We're only semi-pro. We don't get a strike, but we get a spare every time.
Yeah.
And after chasing a poacher's boat that crossed over into his farmland, he went up the bayou and was fortunate enough to find Lisa's body.
I forgot he said that there was a poacher problem. I wonder if that'll come back into it. Huh.
I doubt it was a very pleasant experience for him. But if not for his discovery, Lisa's body might have started rotting out there.
He found it pretty early, didn't he? Because the body was preserved pretty well when we froze it. Or when we froze it. When the sheriff's department... Wait a minute. Melvin was the one who made the decision to freeze the body, right?
So they found it already.
So they found the body, they transported it to the cold storage to have it frozen. If something's going on with Melvin, do we need to reassess... Sorry, that's really loud music. Do we need to reassess whether Melvin is involved in this or not? Because he made the decision to put it in the cold storage.
After Chuck discovered the body, right?
Yes, Chuck discovered the body. Melvin and the police come in. They bring the pieces of the chopped up body to the cold storage to freeze it so they can preserve it for the police, like for the FBI to arrive.
And then the body was stolen by a 10-foot tall person?
By someone who's either 10 foot tall, or you were theorizing, someone who's really tall with another person on their shoulders.
And I'm still thinking Chuck is involved in that somehow.
I still think that's possible, yes, because...
Possibly along with Avery.
The idea of someone like Avery, who we're pretty sure is involved in the moving of the body. Avery with Chuck on his shoulders, height-wise, makes sense. I just don't know what the motivation would be for Chuck specifically. For Avery, it's just, he can get lied to and manipulated, you know? Well, who would Chuck trust? Maybe he would trust Melvin. Or maybe a lot of people would trust Melvin. He's the chief of police here.
It could be a case of Chuck wanting something more out of the body. So after reporting it to the police and they took the body away from him, maybe he wanted something else to do with the body, so he took it back?
Maybe. I don't know. I find it hard to believe so far that Chuck is involved in the illegal activities going on. It just doesn't quite feel like it.
He feels more like a side character that is introduced just for the sake of explaining how the initial problem started.
Yeah, he seems like a supporting cast guy, and like he also doesn't seem like a bad guy yet. He comes across as just very gruff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I guess we should continue.
Kind of like a Lysander.
Yeah, like a Lysander. Sorry, I'm trying to piece everything together, you know?
He's a difficult person, to be sure, but
Oh, hey.
I don't think he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Chuck said something peculiar.
Did we take that picture?
He claimed the Clarksons were a little better when their son was still around. I don't know exactly what he meant, but we ended up meeting the person he was talking about, didn't we? Under very unexpected circumstances. Leonard Clarkson. He ran away from home, found his true self, then changed names. So, Zach, do you remember her name?
Yeah,
PJ Clarkson.
It was...
It's Helena Doman, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, cause Lena, yeah.
Helena Doman. The townspeople call her Lena.
I was just trying to remember, because Lena Clarkson, I think, is what her name was in the boss fight. So confusing.
She was also known as Professor R while she plotted against the Clarksons. She's the mother of the new drug known as Sang Rouge. She must have also had a group of followers who worshipped her fanatically. I can see it now. Lena sprinkling down the red powder, corrupting every last pure and innocent girl in town. Lena mentioned her plan each time we met.
Yeah, I really didn't think PJ would just fucking randomly die in the second Otherworld segment. I don't really know how far we are in the game, to be honest. It kind of feels like we're still in the first of 3 acts to me. But at the same time, like, I don't know. Maybe Sweary cut down massively on the Otherworld segments because Deadly Premonition 1, it was everybody's least favorite part, you know? Which, in fairness, yeah, it wasn't great. I thought that the going around town and meeting people and all that was much better.
She must have taken us for utter fools, Zach. She thought she was always one step ahead of us, and that we'd never see the full scope of her plan. Well, her plan isn't complete yet, and I know we can still stop it. That's why we need to learn all we can about her. Her alias was Professor R.
Hang on.
She was well learned in the areas of medicine
PJ said
and
that
dynamics.
Lena had intercourse with her older sister, right?
Yes.
So we still don't know who the eldest daughter is. We're assuming that it is, in fact, Patty's mom. So,
yes. Wait, does that make Lena Dunham the father of Patricia?
Patricia?
Is she an incest baby? She doesn't look deformed, although
No.
you don't always come out with a deformity.
And Professor R did name Patty to be the purest of the Clarksons.
Yes. Okay, we've really got to find this older sister then. Like that's vital. Okay.
And if you notice, eldest daughter being unknown is in very similar like framing to PJ Clarkson and the unknown mother of Patty at the bottom middle of the screen right now.
That is true.
So a line could be drawn and still cover that up.
Okay.
Unless Avery Smith is the
Remember
eldest
what
daughter.
weapon Lena used to murder PJ?
A bomb?
A bomb.
Or the gun? Poisonous gas. A miniature bomb. Was it miniature? It was a bomb. I know
It was
that.
a bomb.
Correct.
Yeah.
She used a miniature bomb. To tell you the truth, she surprised me. That bomb was so well placed. It left hardly any damage on the building itself.
Oh, that took me so off guard. I hiccuped. They felt the need to put a line in the video game to explain why they couldn't make the place wrecked. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, that's so funny.
Yet still did amazing work on them.
It's like in Superman 64 when they had to make, in the game guide, they made an explanation as to why the game had really bad draw distance. They're like,
It's
oh.
really foggy in Metropolis.
Yeah, I think what they said is like, this is actually Lex Luthor's, like, virtual reality world, and it's full of poison gas.
I think even the game had the virtual reality thing be part of the overtone.
Oh, that's so fun. It was kryptonite gas. That was it. To explain why Superman sucked in that game. Oh, that's so funny.
Lena should have used that brain of hers for something more productive than that saga of revenge. For example, reviving Lucare's economy from the industrial sector.
Yeah, from the shut-down factory.
Widen your perspective, and you'll see that Louisiana is an industrial treasure trove. With her intelligence and her charisma, I'm sure she would have found some amazing opportunities. Such a tragedy. Zach, there's one more important matter we need to think about here. Galena Clarkson, who was murdered in jail. Her body was dismembered, then rearranged into a V shape.
Melvin could have done that, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. Things aren't looking good for Melvin, but maybe it's a red herring. I don't know.
Patty and Melvin claimed it was a severed roots killing, but that doesn't make sense to me. And PJ Clarkson disapproved of it when I met him in the other world.
The maybe canon, maybe not canon otherworld.
He saw Galena's parts lined up and was overcome by an inexplicable fear. Tell me, who killed Galena?
Didn't this happen before?
I think it might have. Okay. I know this is really difficult, but I'm gonna need you to pick 1, 2, or 3.
Hold on, I don't have a 3-sided coin on me.
Damn it.
The fucking 3.
Fucking you nailed it.
I did it. Oh my god, we can progress the plot.
I knew I could count on you.
And it's too big a problem to solve with mere speculation. The answer to this question may lead to a major turning point for this case.
I counted on you, but I also counted on my fingers.
And the final turning point for this story.
One's more reliable than the other.
You know it's true, Zach.
And you know which one's the least reliable. It's the middle finger. He's just
full
of, that one's just full of shit.
Yep.
I only hope it doesn't push us
also
down
has an
an
attitude
avenue
problem.
we didn't plan on exploring.
Way too sassy to ever tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got $10 for that. For doing my goddamn job. I like Patty's little patches on her jacket.
Yeah, she's a big fan of YouTube.
Yeah, I know, right? We gotta figure that shit out.
Is this where York realizes, oh, Patty's wearing a dragonfly necklace?
Do you remember PJ's last words? Lena had intercourse with her older sister. Her own flesh and blood. This means there's still one more person out there who inherited PJ's blood.
That one line got, like, cut off. Ooh.
Oh, I love this song.
Ooh, me too. That's kind of nice. Ah.
Yeah. Damn, man.
Hey, dude, I blew up your boss. Or she kind of blew herself up. Do you own the place now? Or, like, is there a next of kin? Like, I don't know who owns this bar anymore. Can we just say he owns it now? Because he deserves it.
He's definitely owning this stage. Listen to that solo.
Yeah. That tattoo Raven has of, like, the hand on her waist is weirding me out.
Meanwhile, back on the bayou.
Meanwhile, in low bitrate town. That's not YouTube, guys. That's the game.
Now I gotcha.
This is a pre-rendered cutscene. because the bitrate's low. That's hilarious. I haven't seen that problem in video games in like 10 years. This is all pre-rendered. It's too big for my monitor. Or too small for my monitor, so it's like...
Wait. Okay.
What the fuck?
I saw Melvin's hand there.
Yeah, I saw Melvin's hand. I also saw the dragonfly hairpin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wait, what if Patty isn't the offspring of Lena and her older sister, but this baby that is coming out of Lena's older sister is the new offspring?
Maybe. I was also just thinking, we just got the establishing shot that was in that boat on the Mississippi. We've seen a boat like that before. When we first talked to Chuck, he said that the reason he was under that bridge is because he was chasing down poachers.
Mm-hmm.
Was what he thought was poachers, was that actually Melvin and that lady there who's presumably the older sister, I think?
We've heard her name before, but I don't remember what
Candy?
it is right now. Candy, that sounds right.
That
But
sounds
doesn't sound
right.
that doesn't sound like a Clarkson name, so maybe she changed it.
Maybe. But he thought he was chasing poachers and he ran into the body on the way. Could it be that he was actually chasing that boat with Clarkson's and or Melvin on it, and they were actually fleeing the scene of the crime they just commit, and he didn't put two and two together?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay. Again, it feels so weird that, like, this whole Melvin thing is coming out of nowhere. It feels like it could be a red herring. But then again, like, the moment we started really meeting Professor R, she was the villain of the chapter. As soon as we started meeting Galena, she was the villain of her chapter.
So whoever we meet next is going to probably be the villain of their chapter.
I kind of get the feeling, yeah, maybe Melvin is the episode 3 villain.
I don't even know if it's Melvin going to be the episode 3 villain, but maybe he's the cornerstone for the entire thing.
So that lady we saw in there was like making baby noises.
Mm-hmm.
Is the implication that she is an incest baby and never developed as a result?
Stop that noise. Please. I'm begging you.
It's also possible that she was pregnant.
Yeah, it's possible. What is going on?
Zach, don't eat that baby. Well, really don't eat that baby. That's magma.
But he's afraid of red, isn't he?
Yeah. When you push the camera out of bounds.
It really does look out of bounds, doesn't it?
That's the creepy Zach we saw during the intro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
2019, that's the year.
Hmm.
Okay.
Let me try and summarize this. Helena Doman was the mastermind behind the entire incident. But Helena Doman was actually P.J. Clarkson's son, who had severed ties with the family. Helena was also known as Professor R, the mother brain behind the drug known as Sang Rouge.
Mother brain!
I was thinking it too. I couldn't make a Metroid reference in time, though.
That's right.
You know, I don't know why this came... I guess this came to mind just because I've thought about it before and I've never vocalized it for whatever reason. I've never beaten Metroid Prime. I played a little bit of it growing up, and I remember it being pretty fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know much about that game?
I've beaten the first one and got pretty deep into the second one. They're pretty good, yeah. And if you have the chance to play it nowadays, it plays a lot better on the Wii when you have motion controls to work with and point and shoot.
I'd imagine.
I haven't played the GameCube one in a long time, though.
Okay, because I'm not a big controller first-person shooter guy. I always find it a little awkward and clunky. I prefer mouse and keyboard. But I remember that game being kind of cool. If, as long as it's aged okay and people recommend it, then maybe I gotta play that on the show someday. I don't know. Might be a fun thing.
We did
She
try
was
Metroid Prime 2
responsible for
multiplayer at one
everything?
point, but
We did.
we didn't have a very good time with it.
Yeah, I don't think we ended up playing it on the show. I think we just tested it for a bit to see if it was any good for it, but it wasn't great.
Not everything, but most of it. Almost everything went according to her plan.
But if you'd already figured out that much, why did you continue to stay in Lucare?
Because we had to.
You had to. Whatever for.
The goddess was still there.
The goddess.
The goddess of fertility.
Is the goddess of fertility supposed to be the lady on the boat?
I think that's what Lena was implying.
I think
Or at
you
least
might
that's
be
what,
right.
That's the conclusion York probably came to, because when he was talking about the eldest daughter of the Clarksons, it zoomed in on the goddess of fertility on the board.
Okay, so I don't remember what culture this was. I want to say this was some kind of Mesopotamian culture. I don't know, Babylon, Assyria, something. But there's a very, very old idol called the Statue of Fertility, the Goddess of Fertility, something roughly translated to that. Who knows what it was in their language.
Wasn't it a very curvaceous idol or something?
Yeah, it's like a clay doll of basically a morbidly obese woman, and that was the picture of fertility of the time, because for most of human history, being overweight would be considered attractive because you're wealthy, because you have the ability to eat, and you're not overworked and whatnot.
So the symbolism here is that the fat lady in the boat is the goddess of fertility because she resembles that statue of fertility.
Yes, and I already am worried about the dark implication that she is mentally underdeveloped for whatever reason, and that people are just fucking her to have babies. And that is part of, a dark secret of the Clarksons or something. That's what it sounds like, and that is not too dark for Deadly Premonition. Because not only did we just have incest, but there was also incest in the first game. There was a lot of dark shit in the first game, actually, when you investigate it.
The incest being Carol and Thomas?
Yes, who were both with, George, including at the same time, including before the Red Seeds got involved, too. If you break down the lore, they were up to some weird shit before Kaysen even came to town and gave them the seeds. Well, not before Kaysen came to town. He's been to town many times, but before he introduced himself and gave them the powder.
Santa Kaysen's coming to town.
Yeah, I don't think you want what's in his goodie bag.
Miss
No.
Clarkson's body.
Weak laugh.
Not her. She was as beautiful as a goddess, but she wasn't the goddess. She was just a tragic victim.
Then who is the goddess of fertility?
The person at the root of this case.
Is it some kind of metaphor?
Because
For
Red
example,
Tree.
the vast wealth that the red powder yielded.
The goddess of fertility embodied abundance on the outside, but on the inside, she was a hollow void.
Okay, so it was the lady in the boat then.
Yeah, supporting your idea that she
Yeah.
might be not fully there.
Yeah.
And that void was threatening to swallow up all of Lucare.
Someone kill that baby.
Would someone save Baby
Shut
Mario?
Shut up!
Where's
Shut
that
up!
green
Shut
dinosaur?
You know, the weed's not doing a very good job of making him chill out, is it?
Mm-mm.
Are you okay, Mr. Morgan? Morgan almost sounds like a prophet talking about the end of the world.
I like that animation he's got where, like, his leg is restless and he's hunching forward.
Mm-hmm.
Vague, elusive, and intent on deceiving those who listen. But every now and then he adds an interval of truth. Patricia Clarkson is one of those. She's something special. Something irreplaceable to him.
Jittering leg.
There's more, I assume.
Messy letters. Ash in the fireplace.
How did he get there? Also, check your focus to see which one is the real one that we need to progress the story with.
Oh, I can't turn my head while I'm using that.
Oh, that's weird. Okay,
Messy
so
old letters.
what
Okay. We will check the other ones first, because I like the extra dialogue. It's really interesting character building. But we'll have to check that on the next episode. Until next time, have a nice day.
See ya.